with a confession, folks. I don't know if what you're looking at is backwards or forwards. My studio on my computer says one thing, the video says another. So, you know what? This is not a professional operation. As a cool guy says on the Y files, it won't even change it. I'm sorry, folks. It's backwards. I don't care. Anyway, my name is Tim, and welcome to Little Dog Art Studios and the Duck and Compass Society, where everything's backwards today, apparently. So normally when I do my setup, the camera is behind me. I think I might actually be able to accomplish that. Yeah, like I said, it's not a professional show. So anyway, we're going to be painting doop, this part today. If I can get it back a little bit further, you see what I'm talking about. All right. So this is the last part of the painting that we're going to be doing for the 50 states of the United States of America. As I set this up, wow, that is so much better. So anyway, we started out so far. We've done Florida, and Florida was a fun one. They went to Gatorland, and we did LA. They actually did the let's see, the Pacific Coast Highway with Robert and Mike. And Robert and Mike are two characters that are based on some guys that went on an awesome adventure in a movie called The Endless Summer. And I decided I wanted to pick up the mantle and help continue Robert and Mike's tour around the world. It's such a wildly inspirational movie for me that being a part of it is huge. It's really, really cool. So I started these characters after coming home off of a cruise ship and discovering what this duck phenomenon thing was all about. And I started just painting them for fun and kind of not really doing much with them. And I got a little bit of interest, and people started asking me to make ones for their family and their job and stuff like that. So I started making for people, but I really enjoyed doing it. And so even when I didn't have a commission, I'd paint these guys on adventures. So I painted very first series was actually from the movie, and I took clips from the movie and I recreated it, and I did 8 of them, and I was like, well, this is kind of cool. This has got like Pokemon energy. Uh, so I did another set of them, and another one, and in the background, I was also painting ones a whole lot less sophisticated, kind of like Winnie the Pooh, elementary, just real fast watercolors. Took me just a few minutes to do them, and the people loved them. They thought they were really cool, so they started requesting some of those cards, and those got real popular. I got all the way up to making, I think I'm on like 120 now, and that led to one thing, led to another. I just started making more adventures with these guys, and I thought I might want to give them a call, and at least out of professional courtesy, see if they don't mind if I use their intellectual property, because that is no bueno, and I've got some class. I also don't want to be taken on a lawsuit either. So I sent an email off to Bruce Brown Films is the name of the production company. So I sent this email off, kind of just like crossing my fingers. Maybe they'll respond, maybe they won't. I probably won't hear for for weeks at a time, and I'll probably have to follow up. Like I had written like a plan. Like what happens if they don't get back in touch with me? Do I stop doing something I really enjoy doing? Um, all those thoughts went through my head, and I'll tell you, I kid you not when I tell you, it was literally like maybe freaking couple hours after I hit the send button, do I get an email back from this guy named Alex, and I don't recognize the name. I didn't do much of an investigation, to be completely frank. I probably should have before just firing off a letter. Can I use your intellectual property? Some silly artist in Texas that likes painting ducks. Alex reaches out. He said, "Hey, we love the idea. We're happy to have a conversation with you. Let's schedule a time to talk." I was like, holy crap, this just happened. So that was like blew my mind. So I get on the phone with Alex, and I did a little bit of obviously at this point now I'm like a little nervous. So I did a little bit of a digging and found out that Alex is the CEO now of Bruce Brown Films, and he's got an impressive law degree, and he's just all around a winning kind of guy. Uh, so it's I don't get intimidated easily. My background is bomb squad. Like you don't, I don't really get nervous very much. Um, I didn't get nervous for the phone call, but I was definitely anticipating the shit out of it. Like, man, I look forward to that call. How cool is that? That the guy that's the CEO of the movie that produces the Endless Summer wants to reach out to some schlub like me. So sure enough, I get on a phone call with him. We talk through the idea. We talk about making these a regular thing, getting them out to some retail locations, having a lot of fun with it. And he's like, I'll send you a licensing deal. Holy shit! Sorry, kids, but that's how Uncle Tim felt. It was an intense moment. So one of the locations that I did, just by happenstance, was Japan, because my son really wanted to go to Japan. I wanted to, make a little card series for him. So I painted the guys in Japan, and there's an entrance scene where they're coming in, and kind of crossing some historic areas. There's a lot of Japanese gardens in there and a lot of the beautiful colors. It's just Japan is. If you've never been there, man, go to Japan. Japan is the coolest place. So I painted the series for my son, and we had plans to go to Tokyo already for the summer, his summer vacation. So we get all ready to go, and I want to tell my new business friend that I'm going to be out of country for a little while. So if you need anything, it's probably emails is going to be slow because we're still working on this deal, right? And he's like, "Damn, you're going to Tokyo? We got a flagship store in Tokyo." Oh, talk about freaking the stars lining up for your boy. So I got to go over to their store, and man, it was beautiful. I made a nice little presentation for them of the Japanese card series that I did, and they absolutely loved it. Totally dug it, and got to hang out with the manager that worked there and check the store out and get a lot of really cool T-shirts and hats and stuff. I mean, I was in like this was my mecca. Like I'm telling you what, Bruce Brown Films when I was a kid, they didn't just make them with summer. They made some insane biker movies, like motocross kind of thing, off-road dirt stuff. The guy was just a pioneer in adventure sports stuff. He really was. He just some of his films. Have you ever watched? I think he's the one that did some skiing films too. And man, they had. I was cracking up watching those when I was a kid. They were absolutely awesome, and it's like wholesome stuff too. It's you go back and watch Endless Summer now, and you'll be blown away. You'll be like, "Wow, this is." I think it's a little bit of what America needs right now. What the world needs right now is to gather around some surfers that want to go explore the biggest waves or the best wave or best breaks or follow the summer around the world. Am I am I a dreamer? No, man. I used to be in the Marine Corps, 14 years. I disarmed bombs for a living. I'm telling you, war sucks. I'm kind of sick of it. But I don't want to go down that road. That's a little bit too intense right now. I want to talk about Robert and Mike. They they're going to be going around the United States right now, and the reason why I picked that is because I really do believe in travel and getting out there and seeing the world. But if you can't, man, we have the coolest country in the world. We don't have much of a history. I mean, overall, from the founding to now, we're a relatively young country. But man, the sights are out of control. The the beauty of the Blue Ridge Mountains in the fall, it's like an oil painting. It's like God put his fingers down in the mountains and just made it absolutely beautiful. Purples and reds and these crazy like shades of purple you pick up. It's man, there you can't explain it well enough. It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, even some of our parks that are like they're ill named, kind of get a bad rap. Death Valley is one of the coolest places I've been. Yeah, all right. Now, yeah, I wasn't trying to be funny. It's pretty hot, obviously, but you go there in fall or in the wintertime, you go camping a little bit, have some fun. It's really really cool hiking. There's some crazy like natural rock formation kind of things that are out there. It was quite a trip. It was definitely a lot of fun. It seems like hidden spots, man, that I'm telling you. If you get out in America and you can't find something to do, you're dead from the neck up. I'm telling you. We have the coolest stuff here to go see and do. What's another thing that's out of the way? Well, whitewater rafting. If you've never done that, we've got some of the best whitewater rafting in the world. And it is a damn blast. I mean, even if you're like, kind of hesitant, you're not water friendly, you don't have to go down like hardcore rapids. Shit, go down a like a really nice smooth river. There's just some insane scenery out there, and if you don't get to see it, you're missing it. So go out there and explore. Go see some stuff. I got to go do some scuba diving in Florida that was absolutely wild. That it wasn't in the ocean, it wasn't in the Gulf. It was actually in a river, and it was a natural spring. And what you would do is pull yourself down the spring. I got to switch up brushes because this is gonna get big. You pull yourself down the spring, and you get down to a certain point where you got to stop, and then you let yourself go and you drift dive down the river, passing alligators and big bass, and like this is a natural river. It's not it's not like somebody's in there cutting the grass. So you run into trees that have fallen. You could bump into an alligator. Now, there's only certain times a year you're allowed to do it, so they kind of time it with the alligators like mating season or like it's off season. I'm not sure, but they don't eat you. But I can tell you what, it's absolutely terrifying swimming past one. I would never want to. I never want to do it again. How about that? I did it a couple times when I was a kid, but I think at this point in my life, the risk is not worth the reward. Now, I'm not discouraging you from going out and doing it. I'm just explaining how I feel. That's all. Go out there and do it, folks. That is some wild diving. And then in the same area, there's alligator-free areas where you go swim with the family, and it's just all really, really cool experiences with manatees. They used to be able to go like swim right up to them and pet them and stuff, but there's been some conservation efforts that I know they had to undertake to protect them. I mean, there's like a lot of no wake zones and stuff like that in Florida, just because of that reason. And it's good because the manatee population has come back a whole lot since people started doing that, taking care of them. All right, we're gonna go in the sky now and do a whole bunch of blue. Now, earlier on the other show, I was talking about colors, and in watercolors, how you can kind of make it look like something is in the background. And it's actually the way that light travels. The further away something is, the lighter it's going to look. And that's not because it changes its color, because it obviously doesn't. But it's because light can only carry it so far. So think of color like little packs that have mass, a little bit of weight to them. And if you think of them like that, and light is expending energy to move them forward, well, they're going to slowly fade away the further they get away from the source. And if that's not the geekiest way I've ever explained anything, then I don't know what is. I feel like I should be have some Neil deGrasse Tyson on here to to co-host right now, and I'm probably 100% wrong with what I just said, but I'm just trying to demonstrate something. I'm probably 200% wrong. I'm so gonna get called on that. Like, what is this guy talking about? Pockets of light that are carrying color? What? I did watch an interview that Joe Rogan had with this guy that I remember his first name is Brian. He's this British dude that's like a theoretical physicist kind of guy. And I'm telling you, the guy's mind just works different, like wildly different. The way that he thinks through things is just impressive as can be. I just don't get it. I'm just kind of in awe. Like, how do you even like think that deeply without some kind of drug introduction? Like without you know putting yourself off in a different altered state. This guy's just firing it off. Absolutely stone cold sober. Talking about quantum mechanics and different bosons. I love listening to it, but I swear I can only understand like maybe 20%. And that's just the theory part. Like if you ask me to sit down and write it out as a math equation, I'd, you know, sooner go to the moon. And for that matter, I would never go to the moon. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Robert and Mike here on tour of the United States. I'm really digging this because um, every time we get 8 of these done in a row, it's going to be released as a card set. And the first edition is going to be a lot of fun because it's kind of setting the tone for the rest of them. So watch out for that. We're on our third one right now, so that'll give you kind of a cadence of what I've been doing or been able to do. I haven't been able to paint every night. Uh, you know, family stuff. I got a boy and a wife. I want to take care of them. So I get it when I can. I promise as much as I can that I'll try to be here at least Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've carved that time out. I'm pretty good with time management. I guess this is like the Capitol House right here that I'm painting. I basically like put together kind of a rough idea of what people would want to see repeated on a card if they wanted to be, to have that card and be proud of their state. So it's like, well, if I put the Capitol House on there, that could be recognizable. And well, of course, we talk about what it's called, the Bay State, where the capital is. A couple other little facts like the flower. I thought that would be kind of cool. So you just keep it real basic, but it's stuff that not everybody knows about your state. It's stuff that you're proud of. That's pretty cool. Like the state rose or the state flower of Texas, everybody knows what it is. Everybody does. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. I don't remember what a color of Mayflower is off the top of my head. Crap. You know what? It doesn't matter. Yeah, it kind of does. I want to make sure that I get Boston right. All right. Crap. I guess I'm going to have to like YouTube or check it out on the Google real quick. What color is what is that again? A Mayflower. Mayflower. I'm telling you, this is some professional stuff, folks. All right, it's kind of pretty. It's yeah, it's a little pinkish, a little purplish around the edges. All right, I get that. We can make that happen. We can do that. I don't even have to. I don't even have to tell nobody. All right, sometimes I talk in movie. It happens. All right, so I'm just putting down a little water first. It's kind of wet it down because then when I add the colors, to it. It'll kind of bleed out a little bit and give a really, really cool effect. There we go. Yeah. It's starting to look like Mayflower, right? That's what we're going to tell ourselves. And all the people in Boston are watching. I hope this is accurate. I'm not trying to hit on your flower. Man, this guy's weird. It's all right. I'm having a good time. Having a good time. So it's Monday. Any big audacious goals for the week? I like setting mine early, and I'm being serious too. Like I'm pretty like strict on myself when it comes to doing stuff. You won't find me watching a lot of TV, although I do enjoy movies. I usually reserve that for my wife and just kind of chilling with her. So I've got this Duck and Compass Society going. I got Little Dog Art Studios. I travel and do painting internationally. I was just in London, which was absolutely amazing. I went over there to do a painting for their their charity for their bomb squad. It was cool because it was a really, really old building that dated back to like the 1400s. And basically, I was up on stage right next to the MC for everybody to watch me as I was painting. And at the end of the night, the painting was auctioned off for their charity. And some of the highlights of the evening were the MC was this gigantic rugby player. The guy was 7'2", I swear to God, gigantic guy. And he was also the body double for Hagrid. Hagrid? For Harry Potter. I'm not a Harry Potter guy, so pardon me if I butchered the name. Uh, but he was that guy. So it was really, really cool getting to actually like perform on stage with him at the same time. That was kind of nuts. I hadn't really thought about it like in that kind of terms until recently here. I'm putting together like a press sheet and I put that down on there. So that was a lot of fun. London. I got to go to a special club over there that it's invitation only and you have to be a member. And it's a very special club with the military. And that's all I can say about it. And that's real. That was a really fun place. The history over there was just palpable. I mean, every corner you turn, there's something that you can either identify, like just from a photo, but when you're there in person, it just slaps you right in the face, and you're just like, I'm here. I'm at the place. I've read about this in books and seen it on TV, but like here it is. It's crazy. Have you ever had that out kind of aha moment where it's like it's just kind of overpowering? It's just like really intense. I kind of dig those every once in a while. Like they wake you up. You're like, oh, I'm still human. All right, let's go. Those are fun. Sometimes they sneak up on you though, don't they? You don't even realize it's about to happen, and you're like, bam! And I think that's part of the attraction for me is that bam moment. Like, whoa! It's like getting a little goose. Ooh, look at that. All right, so I like Boston. Boston's got a lot of really cool architecture. My middle son lives in Boston. He's quite a cook. Proud of him. He does all sorts of dishes, and he's working his way up. I hope still to be a chef one day. That'd be so rad. He told me he moved up there not all that long ago, and the very first winter that they had was the bad one that we that they just experienced, and this like 14 to 17 inches of snow that the poor kid had to shovel because he had to get to work. People need to eat, right? The restaurant industry doesn't slow down for snow. You better make it to work, son. So yeah, he's like, I'm moving back to Florida. I don't blame you. I don't blame you a bit. I lived right outside of DC for a good long time, and my wife's a nurse, and I swear to God, every winter, I was out there 4:30 in the morning, shoveling the driveway to make sure she'd get to work. Because that's another industry that doesn't snow. You're a nurse. You better walk here. I, some terrible conditions. I'm like worried at home, like, oh my God, she's gonna crash. There's gonna be a freaking blizzard outside. She's got stories of like driving down the Beltway, coming home from work, and there was like literally a hurricane going on, and her car's like getting semi pushed off the side of the road. It's like, honey, stay there. Don't come home. Don't do it. Some people's kids. I tell you what. I'll tell you what, Bobby. We kind of had that mentality though in the Marine Corps. I mean, you gotta show up at 5:30 a.m. to go run a few miles. It didn't matter if it was a torrential downpour. Guess what you're doing at 5:30 a.m. Well, we went out to the rifle range one time, and we were just so the rifle range for us. We had to go down to a different base, so we had to stay like away from our homes, which is not all that uncommon. But we had to stay away from our homes, so we brought with us what we thought we needed, and the weather was actually supposed to be pretty mild for the week. But out of nowhere, this like crazy El Nino shit comes up out of nowhere. Like seriously, nobody predicted it. Our intel chief was like awestruck. He had no idea it was coming. And we're out there and it's like 32 degrees and it's freaking pouring. I mean, out of control. We were absolutely soaked to the bone. We were so cold that you stop chattering your teeth. I mean, when you start, it sucks. But when it stops, you know you're about to be hypothermic. And guys were falling out. I mean, we had guys that they had to report to the medic basically that they were hypothermic and stuff. And then we had a couple guys drop, just straight up say, I'm not doing it. I can't handle this anymore. And those poor guys, they got in a little bit of trouble. They actually got NJP out of that. I couldn't believe it. We had a sergeant major though, man. He was a tough one. He was hardcore. That guy, he did not give a shit. I heard and I understood for a little while that he got in a bit of trouble for punching a kid in the chest, like knocking the wind out of him for I think just being insubordinate, just being a little shithead. Punch this kid square in the chest. And I got to be honest with you, it would not surprise me if he did. This guy was he was one of those grunts that they put in the glass box, break in case of war kind of guy. He was he, this is a true story. I can't forget about this one. He was out with us one night, and we had a really good E club, and it was kind of all ranks that were welcome. We would, kind of chill out. With the mission that we had there was pretty intense. We did a lot of intense training, so it was kind of a relaxed environment when we're off the clock. It's not a very Marine Corps thing to do, but it's what we did. So anyway, we were hanging out one night, and this guy always got a perfect score on his PFT every single time. He ran 3 miles in under 18 minutes. He would do the 20 dead hang pull ups. He would do the 80 sit ups or whatever the requirement was. He'd kill it every single time. And the running part was where he was like, he'd show up in 15 and a half minutes. 3 miles in 15 and a half minutes, this guy. And then do knock out his pull ups, knock out his sit ups, and go smoke a cigarette. I'm not even kidding about that. This guy would huff a cigarette right after that. I mean, he is huffing and puffing on his way in. And I think he wasn't a good runner. I think he was just mad at himself all the time, just pissed. just putting himself through torture. It was like a self-induced, uh, basic self beatdown. He was a tough one, man. So when I heard that he punched the kid in the chest, not shocked. So back to the story. He was out with us and the boys, and we challenged him to do a PFT after he goes drinking with us, and he did. And he toughed us. This guy got so crushed that our next morning at our PFT, he does his run. He gets it in like 16 and a half minutes. It's a little bit slower than his normal one. Does his run, does his sit-ups, busts out his 80, does the full thing in 2 minutes, whatever the requirement was at the time. And then he gets up to the pull-up bar. And he knocks out 16, 17, 18. Oh, he's hanging. And he's hanging now. And Marines know that feeling that you're hanging from the pull-up bar and your arms start getting crampy and your muscles start getting a little weighty and your fingers are starting to hurt. Yeah, that's what 16, 17, and 18 feel like when you stop for a second and then you basically lose all your momentum. And he did. He absolutely stopped. He completely froze up. He looks down the front of his shirt and vomits all over himself. It was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen in my life. I can't believe I'm sharing this with you. But it was also wildly motivating because he shook his head and continued until he got his 20 pull ups. That's a true story, folks. There are Marines that'll validate that story. He jumps down off the pull up bar. I don't know if I should put this last part in. And he points at us and he says, "You pussies, go get your shower and get to work." This is Sergeant Major Strong. Yeah, I said his name. He wouldn't care. Man, that guy was tough. He was fair though. He was a fair leader unless he's gonna chest punch you. That was a good one. I had a couple characters for leaders. I tell you what, just because you're senior in rank doesn't mean you can't be the weirdo. Had a couple weirdos. Had one that made it to a 1 star. I'm not gonna acknowledge who he is, but this cat was strange. God, he was a strange dude. Don't even ask. Don't even ask. If I'm not gonna drop his name because that'd just be shitty. But he was a weird dude, and now he's a 1 star. It's kind of amazing. All right, my man here. I'm trying to make it look like he's laughing, but it looks like he's a little stoned. I promise I'm not trying to go for that. That's just not my style. All right, let's make him laugh. Make him a couple laugh lines. Maybe he won't look so stoned. All right, that's better. Sorry, my duck. That would not be cool. All right. Man, this one's coming into shape. I like it a lot. So, I would love to hear from people out there where they're from. I'm going to go down the whole list that my AI thing told me to say. Where are you guys from? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. That's boring. That's boring. Nobody wants to hear that. Let's find out something that somebody wants to hear. So, do you have any funny stories like that about someone you used to work with? How about maybe an embarrassing story, like a Christmas party gone freaking awry? I got some Christmas party. I got some Christmas party stories. Holy crap! There wasn't too many Christmas parties that we had in the military where something weird didn't happen. Not, not like weird sexual or anything like that, but just some weird stuff. Military doesn't get down like that, I promise. Well, I didn't. Man, that's looking good. All right, all right. So what do we have left to do? I think I'm gonna do some additional like shadowing to their suits, make them nice and dark looking. I want to do push forward a little bit further. So I probably want to start here, go inside of his jacket a little bit. He's got a little sun on his back. Darken it up down through the tail. There we go. That's gonna pull him in closer to us and make it feel like he's a little bit more three-dimensional. How about that? I want to darken that up a little bit, but I don't want to go crazy. I do like that. A little bit of a reflection. There we go. I'll tie that together better. Oh, I like that. We just got a little bit of that texture from the paper. I like it when that comes through. I don't know why. It's just like a little bit more natural feeling. It's not something you can just like paint into. It's your brush has to be a certain dryness, and once it is, it kind of lasts only so long. And you got to be fortunate enough to be over that part of the grain when everything is perfect and aligned. It's like Zen painting right there, folks. I don't know. Maybe maybe you guys don't need to scroll anymore. I don't think you do. I think you found Zen painting here with your man Tim, and I'm going to talk about ducks and other stuff and how to paint and maybe some current events, maybe not. I don't like being political. There we are. He's got a little texture in his pants. I like my man Robert over here on the side, giggling now about eating these British cookies. It's like screw you guys. So I actually fed this painting into AI, and I was messing with it, and I basically said animate these guys to make this guy Robert look like he's laughing while he's eating, and make the other guy yell, "Coffee's better." And they made it into a little cartoon. It was actually pretty good. So if you go to my Instagram page under the Duck and Compass Society, you'll see it under there. It turned out really good. I laughed. It's amazing what computers can do. But you know what they can't do? They can't do handcrafted anymore. They're not to that point. It still feels cheesy. I don't know. I'm not pro or anti either way. I just don't think that they're there yet. And then for me with the Duck and Compass Society, like it comes down to this. It's the little details at the end. Like when I package these guys, it's all hand done. I use a local printer here that's another veteran friend of mine, and he does all my printing. And then I separate all the cards by hand. And when I get orders, I get some pretty significant orders. I gotta separate 8 cards 100 times into 100 different piles, and it gets a little tedious, but it's worth it for me because then after that I take each bundle, and each bundle gets individually wrapped in twine, and I do that by hand. I sit down on my coffee table and I drink a beer, and I might watch some funny TV. I might hang out with my son. Might watch a movie with the family, and I start wrapping my little ducks up in their twine. And then after that, I've already made the envelopes, but the envelopes are these brown paper envelopes. They're really cool. They look kind of like parchment a little bit, and I've carved a stamp out. I carved a stamp out of linoleum by hand, for real. So I could make a little stamp on the back of each one of the envelopes, and that stamp represents the series. So I got a stamp for Japan, and I got a stamp for the original Endless Summer in LA, and I got a stamp for what's the other one? Hawaii. I did Hawaii. That was a cool one. So they all got their individual stamps, and then inside the envelope, before I put the cards in, you get a passport. And that passport, the very first stamp in the passport, is going to be from the series you bought. So, for instance, if you bought a series from Japan, your passport would have a Godzilla stamp. because that's just funny, folks. Godzilla stamp in your Japan passport. That doesn't get any better than that. That's just comedy writing itself. Really is what that is. It's unbelievable, really. I haven't been discovered yet. I'm telling you. Just a matter of time. Ha! I'm just having a good time, folks. All right. I think I'm going to take a step back, check it out, see what it lacks. I think I'd like to add a little bit more tone to this box, make it a little bit more age looking, make it a little bit more beat up, distressed. I mean, they're throwing it overboard anyway. It's probably crappy tea. Probably not good at all. Ew, tea. Actually, I'm a huge fan. I won't lie. I'm also a big ass coffee fan. Like, I got all the coffee paraphernalia. I'm that coffee nerd. But I'm not like CrossFit coffee nerd. I don't just walk up to people and start talking about it. It's not like that with me and coffee. I enjoy it privately. I like the experience. If you have a French press, is it's kind of ritualistic. Like you get the thing loaded. You measure out how much coffee you want to put in there. You get the water going. If you're a purist, you have a thermometer in the pot, and you figure out what your coffee is best at what temperature. I mean, it goes deep, man. A lot of people are really, really into it. I thought it was like kind of cool. So I get certain coffees and check out what temperature they're supposed to be at, do the whole thing, pour it out, and I'm a big cigar guy too. So I go outside, burn a cigar, have a delicious cup of coffee, listen to the birds. I'm not even watercolor. You don't know. Well, you do now. I probably would. I can't tell you how many times I've done my pool. That's probably the most painted pool around here in the whole county. Here's a trivia question. What's the most painted pool in the whole county of Harris, in Texas? Oh, Tim's house. All right, that box is looking beat. I think I like to do the same thing to the sign, but I'm not going to overdo it for the sign. I want to make it a little bit more rustic, but I don't want to make it like offensive because this is their sign. They can be proud. They got their own Duck and Compass Society card now too. Hey, Board of Tourism, Massachusetts, give me a call. Seriously. My number's on my website. It'd be fun working with you guys, for real though. Man, we could have some fun. We could have a whole series where Robert and Mike maybe go see the Sox play and get into a fight. I'm just kidding, Boston. Don't come after me. Don't do it. I love Boston. I saw earlier my son lives there. It's a cool city. I did visit, and by the way, this is inspired from not only the true events, but also my own travels. I was the CEO of a small business. I had an opportunity to meet a vendor here. So I took my uncle with me, who was the president of my company. And we went out there, met the client, had a good time, blah, blah, blah. I won't bore you with the details. Uh, but we saw this along the harbor. I was like, yeah, that's happening. I'm a big history guy. So we climbed up on board. It was like $15. And it's basically an inflatable, like, bale of tea. It weighs absolutely nothing. Like, absolutely zippy. Like, I was thinking, like, maybe there's some heft in here. I don't know. I hope I don't puss out and, like, look like a punk trying to pick up a bale. Some grandma come behind me and, like, strong arm it. So I don't want to look weak. So I got to man up on this thing. I picked it up and almost fell over. Whoa! Yeah, damn, that was light. Caught me off guard. So they even take a video of you doing it. Like, they post it to YouTube and charge you an extra $5 if you want the link or if you want the password. It's a whole racket. Good for them. Living the American dream, my friends. They're doing it. All right, I'm gonna touch them up just a little bit. I really like him nice and bright. I'll put like several layers of yellow on him. Just make sure he's like super bright there. There we go. Oh, hey, I wanted to make a special mention this evening, and I'm going to do a follow up video about it to IVMF. IVMF is a program out of Syracuse to help veterans, small business owners, basically with some fantastic skills. Uh, Everything from financial, running an organization properly, having a business plan, um, basically how to read, a P&L statement, forecasting strategies, 30, 60, 90-day strategies for delayed payment. I mean, I could go down the laundry list. I'm a business guy and I like it. But a shout out to them because I've been in touch with them again here recently, and I'm really, really looking forward to working with them again. They helped me build a company pretty well and gave me a lot of really good sage advice. I was one of their alumni and went into the program. I was just absolutely impressed with them. They had so many professionals there that give their time and energy to this program, and it's absolutely free to the veterans. I mean, if you want to start a business, guys, veterans, men, lady, you want to start a business, or if you got one started already, or you want help launching it, or help writing a business plan, even get a hold of those guys. Um, the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, or something like that. The Institute for Veterans and Military Families. It's a program out of Syracuse. You can't miss it if you put in IVMF Syracuse. It's it's a well run big program now. It was actually started by an organization that I was going to say kind of a plank owner in, and that was it the boot campaign? No, it wasn't the boot campaign. Boots for Troops or something along those lines. No, I remember what it was eventually, but they basically put together something really cool, and this organization came along, and I like to think it was probably like a good sale if the organization was transactional. I'm not really sure, but man, they do an amazing job, just a killer job. I got to give a presentation there again after I graduated, and they couldn't have been more hospitable and absolutely stoked that they had a student that went through and wound up doing well. It was really really cool to be a representative of my cohort that went there. So we had some great guys that went on to do some really cool business too. And it was always fun to catch up with them to see where they're at in in their life. One of them was actually an EOD guy like me. It was really really cool seeing him. Joseph, if you're watching, you know I'm talking about you. All right, giving that chip a lot of really really good textures there to make it stand out, give it a little bit more depth, right? Make it look a little bit more chippy. We're gonna do the same on the mask. It's those small details I really like adding at the end that all add up. I mean, I could have called it quits and been like, all right, this one's done. Let's move on to the next one. But that's not what makes a good painting. Man, you got to stick it out. If you're not an artist, here's something you might not know. In just about every painting that an artist makes, there's a point that they come to, and it happens, I swear, almost every time, where they're like, I hate this painting. I'm going to throw it out. Every single time it happens to me, where I'm like, I don't know what to do with this anymore. I think I'm going to kick it in the face and then go cry, then come back, start all over again, call my mom, Tell her I want soup. It's devastating. Yeah, all right. It's not all that bad, but sometimes it is. Like I've done a painting before. I did a painting before that a good friend of mine bought. That was called 13 Skulls, and it was a religious painting, and it was basically my interpretation of I think how the disciples would have felt when they found out that Christ was betrayed. And it's these 13 skulls that are kind of around this campfire looking absolutely devastated. They've got these really intense looks on their faces. And it was a grayscale painting. So there's absolutely no color to it. And it turned out just really, really powerful. And a friend of mine bought it, picked it up. So I've done some really intense stuff too. So this stuff is just like a fresh air to me. It's a lot of fun doing it. It's not as intense as some of the emotional work that I've done. I got a piece on the wall that's actually been in a movie. The piece is called Rage, and it's a piece that I did because PTSD from when I was in the military. I got injured in an attack, and trying to explain what that is like is difficult sometimes. So I try to capture it in art, and it's of a man that is in a red robe, and he's pretty jacked looking. He's wildly fierce in his eyes, is the best way I could describe it. And he's screaming, and it looks like either somebody's really, really tearing apart his life, or he's watching something absolutely excruciating happening. It all depends on what your perspective is in the painting or in the moment in your life in that time. Well, you can go either way with a painting, you know. I actually had it in an art show, and it was one of these art shows where it's like rename your painting, name your painting something funny. And I renamed the painting I stepped on a Lego because it's like that intense of a primal screen this guy's got. So yeah, painting emotion is a lot of fun. But sometimes it'll get to you. Like it'll take time. But if you're painting that type of intense emotion all the time, I'm telling you, my friend, it'll get to you. So it was getting to me, and my friend Bobby. Well, am I even on anymore? Is it on anymore? Yeah. All right. It turned off on my screen. Like, holy crap! I'm gonna make sure that I'm in time, and I'm not going too far over time. And also, I think it might be time to check comments. Any comments? Dude, let's see. I do not see any comments. And honestly, I don't know where I'd look anyway. So let's carry on. So where was I going? I was talking about crap. You know what? Completely slipped my mind. I kind of slept on that video recording over there now and felt bad. So we'll pick up the conversation with more fun facts about Massachusetts. Did you know that Massachusetts is the Bay State? That's right. It's a pretty cool name. You know what they else they got over there? Old Bay. I don't know if that's a. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know if that's a Massachusetts thing or not, but that just reminds me of Old Bay, and that is one of my favorite things to put on seafood. I'm not even gonna lie. Man, your boy's all over the place. When you do a live show and you don't want to talk about politics, you want to talk about stories and stuff, you got to think on the move. You got to think on the go. I like that. It's nice and lit up. I like that look. That kind of that's an old historic look right there, right? That's really cool. Some other architecture that they have up there in that part of the United States is pretty awesome. Is in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Deutsch, or people as they mispronounce it. And I'm gonna be a nerd here for a second. It's not Dutch. It's Deutsch. And all of those people up there are German. They're not Dutch. It's like the biggest German population in the United States. And people roll through there. They're like, "Where's your wooden shoes?" So I was a tourist there. I did not fall for it. I knew a little history, uh, and but it was funny watching people say it. I wasn't going to go all Sheldon on them or whatever, and be like, "But did you know?" No, it's just funny watching the reaction of the like some of the shopkeepers or whatever, or like just citizens, like these freaking tourists. Well, I guess that maybe I'm a little bit like that because I grew up in Orlando, and to be quite honest, we got sick of tourists. Good Lord, did we get sick of tourists? Because they would come in and take up all of the resources. Which sounds ridiculous, though, right? But I'm talking about the infrastructure from the early '90s, the late '80s, and a lot of that has changed. So just hear me out, for real. Like if you wanted to have guests over to your house, like if you moved to Florida, which I would say I think everybody moved to Florida. There's not a normal Floridian left. I know I'm wrong about that, and don't take everything I say literally. But you'd have family down there in the summer because they want to visit your house and go do the Disney thing and all other stuff. And they would have to stay at your house because the cost of the hotel was out of control, just insane. But that was during tourist season. And then the other times that everybody wants to come down to your house when you live in Florida is during the winter. That's right, Christmas. It's like Christmas vacation every year at my house because we were the only ones that moved down there. All the rest of my family, man, I'm pretty sure all of the rest of them at the time were still in Chicago. And my dad was like, "No, I am not staying here anymore. It's too cold." He was a smart man. So we took a trip when I was a kid. My parents took us on a cruise, and it was from Florida to the Bahamas and back to Florida. We did the whole Disney World thing, whatever. And as soon as we got back to Illinois, I swear to God, we weren't even in the driveway yet. There weren't even cell phones, and my dad's making communication somehow with a real estate agent. That man was bound and determined. He said, "We are out. No moss." Well, he was a Chicago cop for a long time. He worked outside, so I could not blame him at all. I've worked outside in the cold, and it sucks butt. It's terrible. Yeah, awful. So I wasn't from Chicago, like the city. We say that. I say that because nobody would know where I was from. We were literally a one light town, and it was a flashing yellow light. And we had a grocery store. At the time, it also had an Ace Hardware inside of it. Uh, that's changed. I got to go back and see that progress. That was amazing. Just messing with you. Winfield, Winfield, Illinois is where I grew up in, and it's still a very, very rural town. Had a lot of fun going back there. Had a lot of memories. In fact, the baseball park that we would play baseball in, like we had entire neighborhood parties. This is the '80s, and this reminds me of like every Bud Light commercial. It's like we would have these huge neighborhood parties. Everybody would be playing softball, drinking beer. It was absolutely awesome. It was like every John Cougar Mellencamp video that now I'm dating myself like hardcore. But it was like that. It was a cool place. So going from there to Orlando was quite a big difference. It was shell shock. It was like it was like if you woke up in the morning, you were on Mars. That's how different it was for me. It was so different. I had a great time. I made a lot of really good friends. I still have them. My friend Ted, me and him still talk. It's been, God, I've known that kid since fifth grade. Had a great time. Awesome experience growing up there. But going from small America to Orlando was a hell of a whip. I think I'm going to add a little bit of yellow into the sky, and we're going to call it good for the evening on this one. Let's see. Yeah. Bring it down just a little bit. That's nice. We had that dry a little bit earlier. So I'm going to bring it out, but I'm not going to go too much further with it. I just kind of want it as an accent piece. I also don't want to rub it in too much because then it's going to start turning green. And I don't want everybody to think Boston's got bad air. That wouldn't be very nice. All right. We're going to go a little bit further out with it. That's it. It's a little bit of a haze that comes out. It says haze. All right, I'm going to keep going a little bit further with it. I just like it. And that's where I'm going to kill it. Right there. Yeah. All right. You know what I need to do? I need to go eat food. I think my blood sugar is low and I am feeling freaking goofy. And not the fun. You can get a $20 ticket kind. What? What did you just say? Turn that up. Hey, what did you just say? Yeah, I said it. All right, folks. So I'm gonna try to turn this off. See if I can do that. It's been an awesome time. I hope you've enjoyed painting with me and following the story of Mike and Robert. We're gonna finish cleaning up probably tomorrow and start another one in on Wednesday. So stay tuned. Much love. Later.